Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to the All Balls Sports Show. Brought to you in part by Truelove's Pizza and Grits at 1144 Riverside Drive. A discussion of any and all sports, local, regional, and national. And now, here are your hosts, Dan James, Eddie Bobo, Ty Cobb, and the coach, Vance Ballou.
And a very pleasant good evening. Welcome to Around the Roundtable at the All the Ball Sports Show for this second day of May 2017. Starting off, Ty Cobb says, I have to leave at 8 after. You said 10 after.
I know it. I'm getting antsy.
Yes, you are. Tonight, game four of the Predators.
Preds up 2-1. Game 4 tonight against the St. Louis Blues at Bridgestone Arena.
Right.
Puck drops at 8:30.
Smashville.
Smashville. And Nashville is getting known now as a hockey town and really one of the best playoff and hockey atmospheres in NHL. And that says a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I hope they can finish the series off at home.
Well, now you've been bragging to us about location inside of Bridgestone. Just a few minutes ago, you mentioned that you're going to be up in the cheap seats in the bleachers.
Yeah,
you will
tonight.
End up being down
I'll
at.
find a way. I call him Daddy Dan for a reason because he knows me. He knows me a long time.
I don't think there are any cheap seats.
I
It
don't
really
think
is.
there are, no.
Anywhere in Bridgestone Arena is a good seat. And with hockey, the higher up you are, the better you can see anyway with the puck. So
Yeah, but how come you work your way down to the penalty box?
that's a good question.
He don't want to divulge all of his secrets.
Do you just get wrapped up in the hockey thing?
I like it. I don't lose control. Not like some hockey fans do, but
Some of them are rabid.
they get into it.
Have you got your fish with you?
No, I've always.
I thought I smelled something. Wouldn't it be awesome to see
caught 'em
Ty
that
Cobb
big. I've caught 'em
tossing
that-
a catfish?
You probably won't see that, but I have caught them that big. So, but it will be a fun night, and I really believe, I don't want to get too cocky, but I think the Preds, this is a year where they can make it to the Stanley Cup championship and win the cup. I really believe they're peaking just right. Coach, you know that the team peaks at the right time, and the Preds are doing that.
And their big guns are playing well. Me and Ty Cobb was on the elevator one day, and he just said, wow, Shane Weber just got traded. And heck, that may have led to all this run because PK is such a force on the offensive end, too. Mm-hmm. So
Mike Fisher's not bad either.
Not bad. I wonder if this will be his last run or if he'll come back for one more year. That'll probably be something discussed in the offseason. But
All depends.
he's been a
on
good player.
All depends on how well carries.
Well, I don't think it's a money issue for sure, do y'all?
No,
I don't think it's
no, it's not.
and he's
a
a
money
dad,
issue.
so
No, it's probably getting up in the morning going, oh, man, I just don't know if I can do that anymore.
well, that's another thing. The hits. I
Yeah.
mean, they take some hard hits, man. And the NFL is a rough contact sport, but hockey's right up there with it. I do believe that.
Were you at the last game?
I was at the game before. No, the last home game. I did not make it. What is today? Was that Sunday night?
Yeah.
Sunday afternoon. Yes,
Sunday
Sunday
afternoon.
afternoon.
The matinee.
I did not make that game.
Yeah, right there toward the end, one of the Predators and one of the Blues players kind of got into a shoving match, and one of the commentators says this is a case that if these two guys are on the same team, they'd probably be best friends.
Probably so. And, Eddie, I think that adrenaline will carry over tonight. I look for there to be some fights, and especially as you get closer to being down 3 games. I mean, it's going to be a rough game. I think it'll be a lot of hits and a lot of contact tonight. So
Well, there's no
be
doubt
good to
about
watch.
it. Hockey is not wrestling.
I don't know. I don't think I can
It's
play.
wrestling with a stick.
it's more like the NCAA wrestling.
Yeah, well, I mean, what I'm saying, it's not, it is, but I mean, it's not like your WWE All-Star Monday Night Raw wrestling. It's not like that. I'm sorry. But, I mean, these guys get out there, and when they mix it up, and when the one guy pulls the jersey off the other guy and gets him all
Well, they don't want to pull it
discombobulated.
completely off. What they want to do is pull it up over his head.
Exactly.
And
It gets
get
him
it
all
to where his
discombobulated.
arms are kind of caught in it and
Yeah.
everything. And you can't see the blows coming. So, you know.
Yeah. Your kind of sport, Coach.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm going to leave it with y'all. I'm going to head north to Smashville.
You're going to Smashville.
it's not even-
And
That's a
Forward
quick 8
after.
minutes because that's only.
I'll say that I know this show is in good hands with these four, because if he starts talking trash about the UT balls, these four are going to defend me. Even the Alabama coach here at least will take up for my spot. But I did see, and y'all can talk about it after I leave, Nick Saban, big payday today. I saw where he's getting a big contract raise. I think Eddie was about
$65 million over 8 years.
$11 million a year, something like that.
The 2024.
I mean, they already paid his house off. They bought him other perks. I mean,
$4 million to sign his name to the contract.
You know,
well, I'll say this: he's worth it. He backs it up. So
Yeah.
he's got to come into Dudley next year. We'll see about that.
that'll be a practice game for him.
Well, let's see.
Oh!
Hey, Ty.
Shot across the bow.
Hey, don't forget to refresh your Mountain Dew before you leave, Hoss.
Yeah.
He did that before he sat down.
Okay.
Hey,
All right.
bring us
We'll make
home
sure.
one tonight.
All right. Hey. Prediction.
Preds win tonight, and I really believe they'll win it at home
Okay. But by what score?
tonight. 3-2.
Okay.
Come on,
All right,
4-1,
3-2.
4-1. Go for it.
3-2.
Come on, be a man. Very good. This is going to be our final show, folks, for this spring. We will be back unless we have a special show that we want to do sometime during the summer. On September 5th, we'll be right in the middle of high school starting up and college starting up, and we'll have a whole lot to talk about because basically it's golf and baseball during the summer. And I don't think you want to hear us guys sitting around talk about baseball and golf. However, that being said, Vance Ballou would like to share for you the Saturday tournament of the Dylan Rabior Golf Championship that we have every year and his score for that day.
Oh, I was 10 under all by myself. I didn't have any teammates.
Really?
We were 10 under, but I had teammates.
Oh,
We were not into running.
and
but
who
we
were your
had
who were
fun.
your teammates?
Eric and Colton and my brother Philip.
Oh,
So It
okay.
was an all Ballou team. The Ballou brothers is what we called them. So
Oh, okay.
fun time.
It
It
was.
was a great tournament. Beautiful weather. Had 30 teams out for the tournament. I think that's the most ever, at least close. A lot of sponsors and just a great day. Of course, the benefits. Central Football Scholarships. Had those two winners out there.
Mhm.
Just a great event, and great to see so many people in the community involved in it.
Shelby Tiger and Mason Job were our two winners for this year.
Yeah.
And thanks to Maurice Padden at the Daily Herald for getting that into the paper on Monday. He said he saw me at Walmart on Sunday. He said, "Hey, you can get that," or maybe it's Saturday. Well, it was Saturday following the tournament. He said, "Hey, if you can get that to me by noon tomorrow, I can get it in Monday's paper." I said, "Okay." So we got it in the paper, and thanks to Maurice for all of his hard work on getting that in there. So
Yeah, and a big salute to the two winners. Mason Job is a
oh,
young man working two jobs,
Yeah.
Jones and Lanes, and volunteer fireman, which is outstanding to see out of such a young person. Very focused and has goals set ahead. And like Shelby, he's going to go to Columbia State. Shelby was the first girls winner this
Mhm.
time. She had been a manager for the football team for 4 years, and when she started, she was all by herself and recruited some more girls to help. So it's just a great asset for the program. And again, she's focused as well, headed to Columbia State to start off with, and both have a very good chance of ending up in the medical field before it's over with.
I think they're both going to go into the EMT field, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, that's correct.
All right, very good. Made a lot of money on Saturday, and we thank all of our sponsors and thank all of the people who participated.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a tremendous turnout, and can't do it without the sponsors and the players. It's just great to see that many people come out and participate.
And the top flight team donated their winnings right back into this thing, and I thought that was a great gesture on their part.
That was Vince Springer's team. Glad you mentioned that. Who was former principal of Central High School. He actually started the tournament, you could say. The first year we did it, we went over to Dixon and had a little tournament. He had a tournament in the past that honored his father, and he kind of changed it over to Dillon, and then we brought it back to Stony Brook the following year.
And there's one person we definitely need to thank is Rick Saxby, who's the golf pro and the general manager of Stony Brook Golf Course.
Yeah, absolutely.
He made it fun.
He
Yeah, he
made
does.
it fun. Rick's an outstanding person, great professional, and does a lot there at Stony Brook to benefit the community. I think that goes unnoticed a lot of times. And just on top of everything, we had an injury there, and he was out on the course taking care of that. And all that worked out well, and but again, that goes back to Rick, take care of things so well.
That's right. Want to thank everybody who participated, all the volunteers.
Absolutely.
Can't do it without them.
That's right.
All right, guess who's here, boys and girls? It would be Mack Reagan, who is our Columbia City Parks and Recreation Director, who recently underwent surgery on his neck. And we're pleased to report that you're doing great.
Best decision ever made. I mean, I put it off for a year to try to get some things, including the Mid-State Classic done. But I woke up from surgery pain-free for the first time in a year. So, good decision.
So you're like a guy on TV that has that one little inch incision in his back, and he gets up, and it's the first time he had. But it's in your neck. I know. You turn and look at the camera. Show everybody. There you go.
Yeah. But I got to give a shout out to my doctor, Dr. Kaufman, who really did an excellent job. When I look and see like Steve Kerr thing he's going through. Now I still may always have numbness in my left arm and some weakness, but the pain's gone. So when I woke up, it was like somebody just cut a light off. I mean, I hopped up and I was ready to go to work. But it was a good deal. I'm glad it worked out.
Well, we can tell you're in a better mood because right before the Mid-State Classic,
it was rough.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
I remember checking in the hospital and they said, "What's your pain level?" And I said, "Probably 7." And she said, "Well, nobody can't walk and function with a 7 pain level, so it's probably lower." I said, "No." I played many years of football, many years of judo. I said, "Trust me, that's what it is." I was like, "Yeah." So I said, "It feels about like on the edge of a broken bone." And it was getting worse every day.
Yeah.
So they weren't having to drag me into the old surgery room. I went in willing.
I just have to tell the nurse, why did you even ask
Yeah.
what my pain level is?
Yeah, if they
Don't
wanna take
argue
what
with
your
me.
level is.
When,
It's a 10, okay?
When I came back, they told me I could be out up to 8 weeks, and I quickly realized that I would have got kicked out of my house if I'd have been out 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So thank goodness, they let me come back to work. I'm just if I'm caged, I don't do well. I don't do well at all. Neither do those around me. So it was a good thing. You hear a lot of horror stories about back surgery.
Yeah.
I'm one that'll tell you it may be worth your time. So
Well, we're glad you're back. I'm glad you're doing
the only
well.
thing I'm restricted from is judo, and I probably won't do it ever again competitively.
Right.
Or if I'll teach kids classes, stuff like that, basic stuff, but. I think the days of fighting people like Bruno and stuff like that were over before.
Well, I hate to tell you, those days for me were over a long time ago.
Exactly. I'll just be called sensei and act like I'm good.
Yeah,
That sounds good to me.
There you go. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah. It's easy watching them paint the fence, right?
And wash the car.
Yeah.
Sand the floor.
That's right. Sand the floor. That's
Wax
right.
on, wax off.
Interesting news, since you are a huge, probably the most huge Vanderbilt fan that we know, and that will come on the show, and openly just spout things about Vanderbilt, which is great.
And
We
talk
love it.
trash about other SEC schools.
Well, I know you'll do that too, but we'll also talk trash back. But with that being said, 8 players from Vandy going to NFL camps.
Yeah, one thing is clearly noticeable when you walk out there on the field. It's a different. I can remember back to 2013 in the Franklin area, and they really had things turned around. But their athletes didn't look like they look now. You walk out, and they probably have one of the more physical offensive lines in the SEC. They got some really, really talented big athletes that can really run. They got 3 or 4 running backs, and they got the Vaughn kid coming in next year. Mm-hmm. All are high-level SEC players. So the level of athlete is dramatically changed, and you won't find anyone in football that runs to the ball better than Zach Cunningham does. He can just get to the football. Good instincts. Looks skinny at 6'4", 230 pounds plus. And, and then you got Will Holden, who got drafted by Cardinals, 6'7", over 300 pounds. Looks like a tight end. I mean, just a really, really good group of players. And Vanderbilt's had 5 offensive linemen end up in camp the last 2 years. And their really talented group is young. I mean, they have, you think, Bruno and his group are juniors. You got a sophomore in Pfeiffer who was all SEC, as a freshman on the freshman team. And then you got a center in Ayu Moore, who's a 4-star kid out of Los Angeles, I believe it was, or California. Mm-hmm. Really good player. And then they got a 6'7" kid out of Atlanta who could be a top 10 draft pick. If he puts it together, Cochran is just – they've got some athletes. I can honestly say, and I talk a lot of trash, it's just my nature, but honestly, there's nobody that I go into a game with anymore that I fear. I know that they can line up with Mason's defense. They can hold people down, and with that running game, if they get ahead of anybody, they'll beat you.
Well, when you've had a winning season and winning success like they've had over the last couple of years, you can recruit those players to come in and do that.
Yeah, and a big gift for them. I very seldom watch anything outside of offensive and defensive line play. I very seldom see touchdown scored. I watch the offensive line play. I watch all after the play to see who's pushing who's the chippy guy. So I very seldom see touchdown scored. But last scrimmage they had, I went down. I watched the kid on the outside, Jawan Jennings, and for the first time I really looked at him and said, "Man, that's a 3-year kid. That kid's gonna probably go to the NFL really quick. He's just a big athlete, number 1 athlete in the state last year when they signed him year before last. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they've got things turned around. But that is every SEC team. Every SEC team has that. I mean, they always have more people drafted than everybody else. I mean, heck, that's the reason Vanderbilt has 8, people in camp, because it's worth giving those guys a shot. Every SEC school is like that.
There's something I'm noticing. Excuse me. There's something I'm noticing, Eddie, that we don't have that he does have.
And
he's wearing a Mid-State Classic shirt.
Oh,
that is really.
We did not get a Mid-State.
Did not get that.
We did not get the Mid-State Classic shirt.
Hey, we did get lunch, though.
Well, yes, we did. We did. We got that.
Yeah. Well, there are a couple left over, and I knew I would get it when I got mine out of the trunk and put it on. I knew I would hear about it, but I figured just take it. Just take it. It's okay. Just take the abuse. But
that's all right. No, it's not abuse. It's not abuse.
They are
just pointing something out that's pretty obvious.
There are a couple double X's there.
Okay.
And I've got them hid in my office. So.
All right. So all I got to do is stop by.
Yeah, when I'm there. Because I'm not letting anybody know where they are.
You should have told him you had 2 mediums.
Squeeze into it.
Hey, he knows.
Go squeeze into it.
Coach knows. He really does. I want to send out a special thank you to Kathy and Glen Truelove, who have been sponsors all season long for us being on YouTube and at Truelove's Pizza and Grits. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Glenn, for everything that you've done for us, and always supplying us with pizza on show night. So that's a real big thing they do. We will start August 17th with a Thursday night preview at Truelove's live with the Columbia Central High Lions, and our Thursday nights will continue until the last game of the season, which is usually the end of October. And except for the week that we have the bye week, we won't do it that week. But we will be there every Thursday night right before the Hillwood game this coming August. And we're going to be there all season long.
Yeah, I keep hearing from people who are raving about the central displays put together out there.
Oh yeah.
So if you haven't been out to True Loves in the last few months, you need to get out there and check that out. A lot of things from the old Central High School that just came down, of course, sports memorabilia and just all kind of stuff, interesting things to look at.
Yeah,
While you're eating good pizza.
I did a call-in order here a week or so ago, and I carried my son with me to pick it up, and we got there a little early, and so we sat over in the central corner, and told my son, I said, this is where we do our show on Thursday nights out here, and I said, and those wooden seats right there, they came out of the auditorium out there at Central. You know, I just started showing him different points out there, and he seemed really interested. You know.
Now, for some of us, they set us in the wrong places, right next to the bar.
Yeah, well,
Which is cool, man. That's okay. That's all right. That's all right. But really nice memorabilia. The Lions Den is what they call it. So we have the Lions Den at Central High School. Might as well have a Lions Den at True Love's Pizza and Grits.
And don't forget, they sponsored the Mid-State Classic and fed the University of Tennessee softball team.
hey, and they want to go back.
Oh, heck yeah.
They already said line it up.
Yeah. We pull, for Auburn and Tennessee, they got the carpet pulled out for them. We may not got to play the game, but they got the show.
Oh, yeah.
We put on a show for them. And one of our hosts was actually taking photos that night.
Yes. Did you get your copy of did I give you your copy of the UT girls?
No, I did not get one.
If you
could send me some pictures, that'd be nice.
Oh yeah, well I've got the whole CD of it.
Okay.
Just not with me.
Yeah.
It's on the computer.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. It'd be better not to give it to me. It'd be better to send it to one of my staff. Send it to Katina. She'll take care of it.
Oh, I'll just take it to her. And
Yeah, you know how it is. She takes care of it.
I know. She takes care of everything up there.
Yeah, she runs the show.
Yeah.
We know has for several years.
What kind of new programs do you have coming online for the summer up at?
We have our YEP program, Youth Enrichment Program. It was the playground program last year. We're changing it up a little bit. We're going to get a little more active. We're going to bring a little more enrichment into our kids' lives through physical activity, sports. I think it's something that they're really missing. So that's something we're going to really bring about and change. We're going to have movies in the park, which will be coming up. Top of the line movies, really good stuff, and we'll have our community bands and music. And if you want to go out and watch softball any given weekend, right. I think it's booked every weekend out. So really some phenomenal stuff.
Ridley Park.
Ridley Park. Right now, baseball season's kicked up. We've got all of our user agreements working out with them. Be nice to have a few more fields for them to practice on, but. Right now, we're working everything out with them and getting things organized. So, trying to get as many people as active as possible. Luckily, we didn't have too much flooding at Riverwalk.
Right.
We did have some, and it hit minimal flood stages, I think 31.5 feet, and it actually came over into the far end of it. Now, I see why we got that as FEMA, land when it's dominated. So, because it floods easily. At minimal flood, we're going to get that every 5 years.
I lived over there for 30-plus years. I've been witness to the great flood of '76.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised it hasn't been more FEMA property. If I was looking around, because it's probably got across the road several times.
Oh, many times.
Way back in the days, of course, it was before I was born or Dan was born, either one. The old Riverside Elementary School that I attended. There was a flood one year, and they had pictures of the school building, and the only thing you could see was the cupola on top.
I think that was 1952.
Yeah,
from the pictures that I've seen.
It's
it's across the bridge and everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Close to downtown.
Yeah. It was way down Second.
See, there was a huge metal bridge there for many, many years until they had the flood of '76, and then they had to build the current bridge.
Okay.
So.
Oh, you learn something every day. But
well,
the Riverwalk, when you go down there, it's just amazing the people use it.
Oh yeah.
We have people ride the Muletown trolley in, walk on it. It's just phenomenal. And I'd really love to see us sometime in the future. I know we got a lot of expansions taking place now. We're building some parks and stuff, but I'd really like to see that expanded, make it more walkable.
Just want to point this out that that the Massey's did not get a Mid-State Classic shirt either. She says, "Just saying." I'm just pointing it out.
I can tell you this: Miss Massey will get the first option.
She can have my shirt.
She's a phenomenal support. Any of our programs we post or something, she reposts for us.
Yes, she does.
So Miss Massey, you will be getting a shirt. You can get a special color if she wants it.
Yeah, but Miss Massey doesn't sign the checks.
Well, you know how that works.
I know how it works. I got it. I've got same thing in the other room.
We all
I love her
do.
to death. I do.
We all do. But we're speaking.
Connie is a sweetheart. Tony's a great guy. I mean, it's just incredible. Yeah. Incredible folks.
Yeah, we're
really
lucky.
are.
I mean, I'm here because Mr. Massey.
Yes.
I've said it many times. He's a forward thinker. Especially when it comes to economic impact, the amount of money we're going to generate out at Ridley Park is just phenomenal. Nobody our size in the state will come close to it, and the only one it does is Murfreesboro, and their budget's 10 times ours probably.
Oh yeah, but they're 10 times the size too.
Yeah, and you think from one little park that we've probably put somewhere, $12, $13 million total in time we get finished, we're going to generate roughly $20 million a year.
What I'm really impressed with this town is the fact that downtown is growing as big as it is, and all the venues coming in, and Sheryl Crow investing a little money as far as buying a building downtown and doing all those kinds of things.
Well, as things get released with some stuff that we're working on right now, you'll see downtown pushed to the forefront more, I believe. It's a phenomenal part of the city. It's got a historical value, but it's so modern. It's, you got a great places to eat. I'm not going to list them because I don't want to get in trouble when I leave somebody off and go in tomorrow or the next day. But it's just a phenomenal place. I mean, it's really walkable. There's so much you can do, and it is accessible. There's so many ways in and out. You can't get trapped in. It's a really good. It's a really I would love to find a loft downtown. Wouldn't that be awesome just to live down there and be able to just walk out?
Oh yeah, I mean the old Anderson Brothers and Foster building with 3 stories would be wonderful to have a loft down there.
Oh, that'd not be awesome.
Yeah,
just get out and walk across, eat a steak.
No, you just go downstairs and eat a steak. That'd be the Pig and Parsons building. So yeah, that'd be great.
Be nice too.
Oh yeah.
But it's booming. I mean, when you go to our council meeting, you come any month, you'll see Paul and his group are just up all the time with with expansions and things that are coming into our city. So it's just
and hats off to our council and our mayor and our vice mayor for choosing the old Middle Tennessee Bank location for City Hall. I think that is a phenomenal building down there. They just didn't realize what they had. And then once they redid it and updated it, it turned out to be great for City Hall.
Yeah, the good thing about banks, they're built for security.
Oh,
and you need that. Yeah. So if you look at coming from a martial arts background, and home security and all that, you look at the building, it is designed to be secure.
Sure.
So that plays an important part in local government. Local government's changed. We it's not like it was 100, even 10 years ago. Things are changing. So. I think that they made an excellent choice, and I know I spent a lot of time down there. Usually good.
we hope so. We certainly hope so. You don't want to go to the principal's office too often.
Well, I spent enough time in my life in the principal's office.
I think we all have. I spent so much time in the principal's office at Central High School, they almost put a brass plate on the back with my name on it.
When you graduate, the principal's office Hall of Fame?
Yeah, right. And I keep telling them, I said, please don't go find the permanent records down there. Just please avoid that with all costs.
Well, they found mine. They were down in the basement, and they were chiseled in stone.
They were just too hard to move. Music, barbecue sauces, and local sweets are at stake at the Western Conference semifinal between the St. Louis Blues and the Nashville Predators. Seems that Nashville Mayor Megan Barry and newly elected St. Louis Mayor Linda Cruson agreed to the bet shortly before the Predators beat the Blues 3-1 on Sunday to take a 2-1 series lead. If the Predators win, the St. Louis mayor owes Barry a basket featuring a blues compilation album, an assortment of local barbecue rubs and sauces, a gooey butter cake, and a blues jersey. If the Blues win, the Nashville mayor owes Cruson a basket including a country music album, Nashville barbecue sauces and rubs, Goo Goo clusters, and a Predators jersey.
Some hot chicken should have
Well,
been
that's a
put in there.
win-win
That's right.
situation.
Some Nashville hot chicken ought to be added on that.
Yeah, somebody. The Blues. You tell St. Louis they're not up on times. They
That's
don't,
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I've been through St. Louis last year, but almost this time last year. I'm not impressed. The only thing they've got is the arch.
And
Just sorry, I know this is on YouTube and it's worldwide, but that's all they've got is the arch. And the interstates getting through St. Louis, it's almost impossible. It's just crazy. At 75 miles
It's got
an
that
hour.
Atlanta feel to it.
It
don't
does, exactly. Especially when they all
God.
merge. It's awful. It is awful.
Well,
And it's nothing worse than hitting a wheel chock off of a semi that's laying in the middle of the road too.
and you can't. You have nowhere to go.
No.
Can't slow down.
Nope.
Just
Nope.
grit your teeth and take it on.
The guys over at Lion Chevrolet in Lewisburg called me into the service base. Hey, come here a minute. So you need to see something. I said, what is it? He says, what'd you hit? I said, well, it was a wheel chock off of a semi that fell off the back of his truck. They said, that dinged it pretty good, so we're going to have to get the sledgehammer out and bend it back. I said, okay, cool.
I had one take a gas line out once.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, so a metal gas line that that's connected
Oh,
to
yeah.
your frame. Somehow got in there and whipped that up. Just enough to leak all the way home. What's that smell? Got home and you don't realize
Fuel.
yeah,
Bad things.
Wasn't a good feeling.
No, absolutely not. How is the golf game, Vance? You're out what? How many times a week do you go now?
Not much this spring. I've been too much baseball. Softball,
Yeah, you've been doing baseball and softball.
golf
but
tournament and all that.
Yeah.
But, been playing about once a week, I guess. Not good on any account.
Plan on ramping it up a little bit this summer,
Hopefully, we'll see. I'm getting frustrated, no doubt.
though? Depends on how long the honeydew list is.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, true. But I wanted to comment on the youth and what was it? Youth enhancement.
Youth enrichment.
Enrichment. Okay, that's outstanding. Our youth have got to get out and get moving. It's we can see now in middle school and high school, not making fun of them or in any way at all. Many kids do not know how to run anymore.
Mhm.
I mean, they haven't done it. You can, when you actually see them playing something, you can tell it. These are kids that have not run around. They've not played like 5 and 6 year olds used to play and grown up on
Exactly.
sports and playing. The scare health wise is tremendous on that. If we don't get them involved somehow, 4 or 5 years ago we had a really high obesity rate with youth. That actually has improved, and I don't know why, but when seeing kids knowing that they haven't been involved, it's just a matter of time till that jumps back up. It's going to happen. Then you have obesity and lack of activity both. That's a really scary thing.
Yeah.
That's the, we spend so much time talking about improving test scores and education and all that stuff. All that's important, obviously. But in my mind, it's not the top thing is health and conditioning and involvement. So that's great to see you've got that program going this summer. Get kids running around, doing something.
Yeah, as much activity as possible.
Yep.
So.
Isn't it really all connected though? Because if they don't feel good, they're not going to do good in school.
Oh, absolutely. We've known
And if
that.
they don't exercise, they're not going to feel
Yes,
good.
We've known that at least since the late 70s that
Right.
Activity and fitness and being involved in sports improves test scores. And school performance in general is improved through that.
And not even in youth, but in adults, there's a study came out the other day that I was reading, and it was talking about walking, how it improved the blood flow, actually to the brain better, and even vigorous activity would. And, that's one of the most important things you have, especially when you have somebody that played in my area with all the concussions and everything. Blood flow is so important, and it's for anybody who's aging. We know we all forget stuff. So, that things like the river walk, I think that's what recreation has gone to. And, and having a council that's really pushed activities like that is a blessing. So, recreation is all about quality of life, Coach.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to do.
Absolutely. And you used to you could take it for granted in years past that kids would run around, be active and be healthy because of that. But those days are long gone. 10 years ago, high schoolers started using more and more technology. Well, now that's gone past middle school. You have 10-year-olds getting cell phones and video games and all those things. It's a total lifestyle change has already occurred, and we've got to have plans to offset that. And that plan you've got this summer is outstanding. We need more of that.
I remember back when, Chip and Eddie and I are in the same age genre, that in the 60s and 70s, we rode the bicycles. That was our mode of transportation, or walking.
Right.
You didn't have a car. You had no chance of getting a car, even when you turned 16. Even if you had a job, your chances of getting a car were slim. And you played flag football. I remember in Royal Oaks, where I grew up, we played in the back of...
we played tackle.
No. Let me back up. We started out with flag. And then somehow the flag got lost. And then it ended up full contact tackle. But that's the kind of stuff you did. You played when you got through throwing the football around, then you played baseball. You knocked it into some Mr. Green's window at some point. But you were outside. We stayed outside until we were called home, maybe at 8 or 9 o'clock at night.
Yep.
And that's just what you did. You rode your bicycle, you stayed healthy, and you felt good when you did that. Yeah. But I just don't see that, like you said, happening now.
Yeah, we used to, like you said, play football.
Sure. Then
go to play baseball, and then before days are with you, playing basketball or some other sport like that. Now I grew up behind the old bowling alley up there on Nashville Highway.
Yep.
And if I wanted to go bowling, if my bicycle didn't work, I hot-footed it up there and went bowling.
Paid you $1.50.
Well, I'd pick up enough Coke bottles that I could get enough money to bowl a game, and buy an order of French fries and a drink from the snack bar, But
sure.
And they give you a pile of French fries back in those days.
Well, I remember. Yeah.
But another thing too is I think parents are pushing children into certain sports and trying to carry them through. And you listen to any major league baseball player, NFL player, or whatever, they all tell you, play everything you can
as many
as you're coming up.
Yes, sir.
Because it's important, because everything's got a little different motor skill, a little different set, and you learn and you pick up in everything that you're doing and everything that you're going through. And I think it's important. We golf. We golf.
Tried.
We tried. But growing up,
I didn't golf.
my aunt would drop me off out at Stony Brook, which was Bigby Hollow back then.
It was.
Yeah.
And I'd stay out
9
there all
holes.
day. I'd pick up trash and everything to help out.
Yeah.
And then, they let me play all day long. And then she'd come pick me up. But then playing baseball, playing basketball, playing football. We didn't play soccer. Sorry.
No, I remember when I was in Whitthorne, Coach Dillard one day brought out this soccer ball. And we said, "What's that, Coach?" He said, "Soccer ball." I said, "Okay. What's it for?" He said, "Well, I'm going to teach you how to play soccer." All right, so we go out on the field. He starts trying to teach us, and of course, the goalkeeper, he can catch the ball. The ball goes flying in the air. Our natural instinct was catch it. Well, we'd catch it. He said, you can't do that. Well, what kind of sport is this?
We had some great volleyball games.
Oh, yeah.
In gym class.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Volleyball was big.
Especially
I
at Central High School,
enjoyed it.
because in our volleyball matches, anything was legal. In other words, if the front line players could actually reach up and pull the net down, and you could hit it straight across into somebody and let
somebody's face, into their nose.
So we had a lot of bloody matches.
At CMA, we had 2 days of military drill that offset our physical, but close order drilling with a rifle. Get you some exercise.
Well, how many times
Believe
did you
it or
have to walk the bull ring?
I never walked the bull ring. I was in charge of it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, I think the
I
man that's in
graduated-
charge of the
So
bull
you
ring should have been
graduated with
one to
honors,
ride.
huh?
Should have been
graduated-
one to walk it.
With my good conduct intact.
I go back to the thing with parents and scholarships and all that. You know, it's easy to understand. A parent wanting to get out of the $80,000 of
Sure.
college degree requires, for most kids, that's the hardest route to get that paid for. There are a lot of other routes that would be easier. Now, if you're, you know, and it's hard to say because you as a coach, you don't want to be a discourager.
Sure.
Exactly.
But yeah, you do have to deal with reality. You know, 2% of the high school
Right.
kids are going to get scholarships, and practically none of that is based upon technique in sports or the individual. You know, coaches offer on talent and competitive
Potential.
issues, potential. You know, they feel like they can teach the technique. Now, you know, golf, yeah, there's probably a little more technique. The hitting things, yeah, you got to have a little more technique. But in general, it doesn't have anything to do with doing technique over and over and over again. Is in getting that scholarship. It's more talent, your competitiveness. What was it you said?
But there again,
Potential.
Yep.
All those things is what they're looking at.
but there again, it don't go just to the parent as such looking for that. I mean, they've been told by a lot of these coaches at different sports, especially on travel teams, oh, if you let your child play travel sports, they can get them a scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's all they hear, scholarship, you
Yeah.
know, and they don't hear the facts
Oh
that
yeah,
only
yeah,
2% of all
right.
players out there are going to
yeah,
get a scholarship.
Yeah, there's not a comprehension of
Yeah.
that they're for some people that their own son is not in that 2% or daughter. You know, it's just hard. It's something you need to sit down and think about and study and rationalize and get away from the websites and all that stuff. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
it's really with all the information out there, it's still the most least understood thing people have. Parents have about their child.
Right.
Is
Right.
college recruitment and scholarships and advancing to the pros, all those things.
I've never asked you, Coach, but you watched Eric come up through, win a state championship. You won a state championship. He goes on to Tech, decides to transfer to UNA. When he made the decision to stop playing football, in your mind, where were you at that point?
Well, it really wasn't that hard of a decision to me. I mean, in my mind, because he was in his senior season. He was going to be out because of the concussion for a few more weeks. And after that, there would have been a couple of more games. So, you know, it was easy to agree with that. You know, not taking a chance. It wasn't a one concussion. It was 5 or 6. You know, so you know, that was pretty easy to accept that and move on. So that wasn't an issue with me at all.
Good deal.
I mean, it wasn't like he had a long career that he was going to miss. He's talking about a couple of weeks. And with the way the playoffs turned out, it probably was 2 games.
So he basically was out his concussion protocol.
Yes. When he made the decision, he was still out. Once they gathered the information, they presented their information to him. That was 1 week's time from when he had
made
his
a man
concussion.
decision.
Right. Yes, exactly. And
But it actually helped him because of the staff down there keeping him involved.
yeah.
That we knew he was going into coaching,
Right.
but the opportunity that came up after the bad opportunity of having to call it a career,
Right.
but he just stepped into his next career.
Right. It really was the best case scenario because he got to spend that time coaching, which they actually put him in. He was actually coaching, so that was a great experience for, the last month of the season.
And one thing, Coach, you were talking about, a lot of the parents don't understand. A lot of parents seen the kid who signed when they were in school. I know I do that. When I played high school football, I thought I was the greatest thing ever. We know I was probably just an average athlete, for 300.
No, I can't see you as being
true.
an average athlete.
But when you look at what's playing now,
Right.
I couldn't play now. I would
Yeah.
have never been able to play. I would have played at a real small school.
Well, I equate parents who see their children that way as the people who send their kids to American Idol and say, "You can sing.
Yeah.
Our whole family knows you're great. You're the best person that's ever stood in front of a microphone. Go kill them." And they turn out to be the worst person in front of an audience and a microphone. And it's a big letdown for them.
And it's so easy to fall into that, too.
Sure.
You said it right there. Greatest thing ever. Well, you probably were, that you had ever seen. And that's the way it is for most kids. You play on the local level, travel some. Now they get to travel a whole lot more. But, that elite athlete on that level is the greatest thing.
Yeah.
They're going and playing their games, for 10 years, and they go to tournaments where they're the greatest thing there. They go to their season with their school, and they're the greatest thing there. But so you have to sit back and look and comprehend that the next town has the greatest thing ever too, and the next town.
Every town has a future NFL player, right?
Yes,
Right.
exactly,
Yeah.
and it's what 100 significant sized towns in Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
And there's one in
yeah.
every town.
I kind of go along at the same lines. I had a buddy that he was in Vietnam. He did 2 tours of duty in Vietnam, and before he got over there on his first tour, they were stationed in Japan for a while, and they got their martial arts training from a master. And before they shipped out to go to Vietnam, the master called his class in, and he had them get in a circle. And he told them, says, "Come at me." And he laid them all out, and the master says, "This is just to show you that no matter how good you think you are, there's somebody out there better."
Yeah. Well, I mean, I realized it. I really did. When I watched my son grow up, he got his mommy's genetics. He's a much better athlete. Bigger, stronger, faster, just everything. Smarter, better looking. He got all the good quotes from his mommy. But when I went and watched him practice at Vanderbilt, I'm
Right.
like, my gosh. I've seen a couple guys. I had a friend who played in the NFL and everything like that. But there's just so many more 19 and 20-year-old kids that are just better.
Speaking of that, I know the coach wants to give a shout out, as do I and Eddie and Chip, to Dre Hall and Matt Markham at UNA. The team is back together again that won the state championship in 2010. Glad to see those two back on the field.
Yeah, it
together.
was. I actually got to see the spring game down there 2 weeks ago.
Matthew looks like he's been in a weight room.
Yeah, he does. Matthew looks good. He's thick, very thick, and
Yeah.
he had a good day. He started off, drove down the field, and something happened. They didn't finish the drive, and then the next
one
drove down through touchdown. Yeah. So that was great.
Was he not the greatest kid to coach because he would take a hit, pop back up, slap his hands, and say, let's do it again?
Oh, yeah. He was extremely tough. Took some hits at Baylor second year. I guess this would have been his junior year. That just, I would say 98% of the kids would have been out for the next 2 weeks, and he played the following week. I mean, there was nothing, threatening his long-term health. He could just tolerate the pain, and he was going to get through it and the soreness and, and push on through it.
And never complain.
And then go out and play physical again that next week. So it's great to see Matthew have some success. He's had a long journey to get there, like a lot of kids do, and he's battled right now. My observation, and Kevin said that too, I guess kind of helped me get that. He's firmly number 2 right now, which is an accomplishment to come in.
Oh, yeah.
Work to that point. So we'll see how it goes in the fall.
But if you have a chance to go see the UNA Lions, do so.
Yes.
It is the greatest show on turf.
It is.
I'll guarantee you.
They put on a good show. Always well prepared, play hard, got some outstanding skilled kids, and I don't say this often, the band's outstanding.
Oh, wow.
They put on a show. It's great entertainment.
The one weekend we were down there, they had all the bands from northern Alabama. Mm-hmm. You remember that?
Yes.
And they had them all playing on the field at the same time. It was outstanding because they were playing 2 songs, and it was incredible. So if you get a chance to go see a UNA game, get there for the Lion Walk, because they bring the actual lions down in the lion cage or whatever it is they carry them in. But yeah, UNA is, I like it.
It's an exciting place.
Yeah, it really is. So check it out. Florence, Alabama.
Yeah. Hour and 15 minutes you'll be there.
Yeah.
You'll be in the stadium, an hour and 15 minutes.
And if you want to drive over about another 15 miles, you can go to Wilson Dam, which is what my grandfather worked on when.
Oh.
Yep, he worked on that when he moved from Jackson.
Oh, wow.
And my dad had the opportunity with Tennessee Valley Authority in 1946 during the Great Flood to open every gate on Wilson Dam.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great history there.
Oh, yeah. Florence. A lot of history there. And my grandfather also worked on Wheeler Dam, which is upstream from that. So there you go, boys and girls. A little history, a little background of me.
It's really amazing. There's 2 dams right in that area, about on the Tennessee River, about 5 miles apart, maybe.
Yeah. I think it is 5 miles, right at 5 miles apart.
And Dan's booking dam tours.
No. I ain't booking no damn tours. You need to go see the damn tour man down there.
Can you get us any damn water from down there?
I can bring you back some damn water. That won't be any problem. But I used to go down there. There were some times when I would go down there just to watch them lock through. In the big lock down there, the barges, and that was a lot of fun. That's a big kick.
I can remember growing up.
But then when 9/11 came, then they shut all of that down for security reasons. But I think you can get back down there now, if I'm not mistaken. So it was a lot of fun.
But when I was growing up, I had an aunt and uncle who lived in Martin. Of course, you can't get to Martin, Tennessee from here.
No, you can't. No.
But they lived on the street.
On the street?
Right up. Well, their house and street was right near UT Martin's football stadium, and I always thought that was the biggest, grandest football stadium that I had ever seen. We'd walk down to the football stadium, and that was always the neatest thing. And of course, then I grew up and started going to Knoxville and other places.
Well, my grandfather used to live on Meridian, which is only a block from the UNA football field. Mm-hmm. And I think they've torn down the old Coffee High School. It was there at one time.
They have. It was gone when we went this spring. I was surprised. Leveled.
Yeah. But that's he didn't graduate from that. Didn't graduate from that one. He graduated from the one 2 blocks up from Meridian on the right that they tore down I think in the
Last
60s.
time? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, the original Coffee High School. So there you go. I'm just sitting here reminiscing. I'm sorry.
So the next time y'all get together, it'll be about football, won't it?
Yeah,
Will.
it will.
Tell
be.
me, that's not awesome.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
I mean, I love summer.
And it's gonna and it'll be here. I mean, you look at going out and selling ads for what we do with the Columbia Gridiron, and get the program ready to be sold at Lindsey Nelson Stadium, and then you realize suddenly, man, you're 2 months away from the first game, and it's like, wow, all of a sudden it's here.
Yeah.
Dan, when the rugby team play?
I did not get Dan LaFawn was supposed to be on tonight, but he could not make it because his wife is sick, and we wish the best for her. And he said he had a needy 2-year-old he had to take care of. So, and I said I understand that too, but I didn't get a chance to ask him.
Okay, I know they play. What is it, McMinn County?
Mm-hmm.
And
They were supposed to, I think, play this past weekend, and then if they win that game, then they'll go against whoever the winner of Memphis and Ravenwood. Yeah.
So,
but if you guys have never seen rugby, get out there to Columbia Central and watch these girls play.
It is exciting.
When we finish Ridley Park, we need to have them. We need to have a rugby game in there.
Yes, you do.
That would be good.
We need to set that up. Help me set that up, Coach. We'll work that out.
We'll do that. Sure will.
We'll
That'll be fun.
We'll challenge and talk trash to somebody from another state or something.
Like you can't do that.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I do that without thinking. But that's the way you sell
exactly
4,000
right.
tickets for a softball
That's
game.
right.
You get two teams that don't really like each other.
Speaking of the Mid-State Classic, are they going to move the date next year?
Well, we're hearing they're moving it to April, but a lot of that will go up what University of Tennessee schedule is.
Right.
And I'm hearing Ralph's mentioned some really good teams that he's working with, so it'll be bigger and better, hopefully warmer, and it's going to be a big show.
It's not that we weren't ready.
If it had been the week,
we were ready.
We were
the
ready.
week before or the week after, it would have been
perfect.
perfect.
We would have been sweaty.
Yeah.
But when you look at what Ralph's got his team doing right now, I know they lost 2 out of 3 to Alabama. Well, who was Florida? But Florida's just got an amazing pitching staff. But Ralph's won 20 out of 22?
Yeah, something like that.
In the SEC, I mean, you're talking about 8 to 10 top 20 teams.
Right.
Hey, I want to mention some folks who have been on the show since we started back in December. And I want to thank each and every one for coming on the show and tolerating this group of guys that sit here. Dan LaFond, of course, A.J. McCullum, who is also a football coach with Columbia Central High Lions. Becca Rogers-Withrow with the rugby team. And there's some other coaches with rugby, but they didn't have a chance to appear. Orlando Cox, Alicia McGuire, and Shaq Mason all came on one show on the 28th. Bob Kessling, Tony Massey, and T.J. Brown. Jason Hoth has been on here twice. Al Ray and Bill Marbett. Al Ray, of course, is the director of Murray County Parks, and Bill Marbett is the owner of Southern Athletic Fields. And Mack Reagan, he's been on here 4 times. Mack has appeared 4 times.
That's amazing that you all keep letting me come back.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it is. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, it'll be football team soon. It'll be football season soon. You'll be worried.
Thanks to Chip Walters, who's the voice of the MTSU Blue Raiders. Of course, Mike Ransom, who is the bowling coach and also manager of Galaxy Lanes. T.J. Brown, he's been on, I think, 3 times, and also thanks to the new sports editor at the Daily Herald. I say new, but he's about a year into his job now, Maurice Patton. So thank you all for appearing on our show for the last 6 months, and we appreciate that.
Chip Walters, did you mention him?
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, we got him. We did. But I was going through real quick before the show tonight, just running down the list of prior shows to make sure I didn't miss anybody. And if I did miss somebody, text me within the next 30 seconds. And we'll get you on. But thanks to everybody who has appeared on the show. Probably we'll have and we talked about this off mic a while ago, we will have a special show sometime during the summer. And we'll all get together, and that's something that Ty has something to do with. Otherwise, we'll see everybody in September, on September 5th. That'll be our first show back on Tuesday. August 17th will be our first show from Truelove's Pizza and Grits, our fine sponsor. Thank you, Kathy and Glen Truelove. We're going to be enjoying some Meat Lovers Pizza here shortly.
All right.
Yeah. See, there you go. You stick around. You can't be like Ty and show up at 6:02 and say.
Even though he did ask, can we have pizza first?
Yeah,
tonight?
he did. Yeah, Ty did. Ty asked, can we have pizza first? I said, no.
I bet he stopped in on his way up to the prisoners.
He probably did.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, their wings are exceptional. So
Yes,
make sure you
absolutely.
check out their wings at
My,
Truelove's Pizza and
my
Grits.
lovely bride, she likes the shrimp and grits very well.
It is good.
Yeah.
It is. That night I tried it. It was awesome.
The night that we had the UT softball team over there, the girls said, I don't know about those grits. I said, they ain't your grandmama's grits. They're different.
Yeah.
You know, and they taste fabulous.
Yeah. They had to be bad for you. They were so good.
Oh, yeah.
They had to be. They had to be bacon or something in it, you know. They were awesome.
I don't care. I love them. So make sure you go to True Love's Pizza and Grits, 1144 Riverside Drive here in Columbia. Guys, Coach Vance Ballou, thank you very much. Chip Matlock and Eddie Bobo and of course, Mack Reagan. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
All right. Until sometime during the summer or on September 5th, you guys have a great evening.